Let's study the next problem. A stone is dropped from rest from the top of a building. My dear student, in this example, it is said that a stone is dropped from the top of the building. A stone is dropped from rest from the top of a building of height 441 meter. The stone takes 3 seconds to reach on the ground. My dear student, if a stone at a rest is dropped from the top of a building whose height is 44.1 meter and the stone takes 3 seconds to reach on the ground, use this information to calculate small g. And small g, my dear student, you know it is acceleration due to gravity. The problem is very easy. First we will write what is given to us and then try to find out the answer. My dear student, here height of the building is given, which is 44.1 meter. Height means the distance travels by the body. So S will also be equal to 44.1 meter. Time t is given to us, that is 3 seconds. We have to find acceleration due to gravity. My dear student, if you correctly observe the information which is given to us here, you will see the distance traveled by the body is given and the time taken to travel the distance is given. So my dear student, here we can take use of one kinematical equation, that is S is equal to ut plus half at square. My dear student, this kinematical equation, that is S is equal to ut plus half at square, give us the relationship between the distance traveled by the body and the time taken from the body to cover the distance. And here we have information about the distance covered by the body and the time taken. So my dear student, we can take use of this kinematical equation. But here the body, that is stone, is falling vertically downwards. Therefore, we can say that A is equal to G and U is equal to 0. My dear student, on this consideration, this equation becomes S is equal to ut plus half, in place of A will put G t square. Now my dear student, here S is equal to U is 0. So 0 into t we can write plus half g t square. So S is equal to 0 plus half gt square. So my dear student, here we have got an equation which is s is equal to half gt square. My dear student, we will take 2 to the other side of equation. This will become twice s is equal to gt square. My dear student, here we have to find acceleration due to gravity. So we will write twice s as it is, and g also will keep as it is, and we will take t square to the other side of the equation. Now my dear student, here we got an equation where g is equal to twice s upon t square we have got. From this formula, my dear student, we can find acceleration due to gravity. Let's put the value. G is equal to twice, and twice s displacement is equal to 2 into 4.1 meter upon, and the time here is given what, 3 seconds. So 3 second square we can take. So my dear student, this we can write g is equal to 2 into 4.1 meter upon 3 3s are 9, and s square, second square we will write here s square. So my dear student, now we will try to solve it. G is equal to 2 into 4.1 upon 9 meter per second. G is equal to, now my dear student, we have to remove the decimal point. So we can do 2 into 4.1 into 10, and in the denominator also we can take it 9 into 10. My dear student, this arrangement we have done to remove the decimal point. 9 is equal to 2 into 441, decimal point is removed, divided by 9 into 10 meter per second square. 9 is equal to 2 into 441, we get 882 upon 9 into 10 meter per second square. Now my dear student, we are going to divide. Let's try to divide. 882 divided by 9. 9 9s are 81 minus 7 0. 2 will bring down. 9 8s are 72 minus 0 0. So we can write 9 1s are 9, 9, 98 are 882. So my dear student, here we will get G is equal to 98 upon 10 meter per second square. So G is equal to 9.8 meter per second square is the answer, and therefore we can write the value of G is 9.8 meter per second square. This is the answer. That's all, students. Let's find the next answer. Let's study the next problem. A metal ball of mass 5 kg falls from a height of 490 meter. How much time will it take to reach the ground? Acceleration due to gravity is given, that is 9.8 meter per second square. So my dear student, here we will take the necessary information and try to solve the problem. My dear student, here height is given h is equal to 490 meter, which is equal to displacement of the body, that is s is equal to 490 meter. My dear student, how much time we have to find out? Acceleration due to gravity g is given to us, and that is 9.8 meter per second square. My dear student, here the mass of the body is given to us, that is 5 kg. But my dear student, this information is of no use. So we will not consider this information to find out the time taken by our body to reach on the ground. My dear student, this information is given to us, that is the mass of the body, that is the metal ball, is 5 kg and it is of no use. Here we have the information regarding displacement of the body or distance covered by the body and acceleration due to gravity. So on this basis, again my dear student, we can write a kinematical equation, and this kinematical equation is S is equal to ut plus half at square. My dear student, this kinematical equation gives us the relationship between the distance travelled by the body and the time. But here the body, that is metal ball, is falling vertically downwards. Therefore, u will be equal to 0 and a will be equal to g. And therefore, my dear student, this kinematical equation will become S is equal to ut plus half gt square. So, my dear student, here S is equal to u is 0 into t plus half gt square we can write. So S is equal to 0 plus half gt square we get. S is equal to half gt square we can write. S is equal to half gt square we can write. My dear student, here we have to find t. So we will take 2 to the other side of equation. Twice S is equal to gt square. G will take to the other side of equation, we get twice S upon G is equal to t square. Therefore, my dear student, t square is equal to twice S upon G we got. Let's put the value. T square is equal to 2 into the distance travelled by the body is 490 meter upon acceleration due to gravity is 9.8 meter per second square. Now, my dear student, here t square is equal to 490 into 2. 2 into 0 is 0. 2 9s are 18. 8 1 carry. 2 4s are 8 plus 1 9. So we got 980 upon 9.8 unit also we will write. Now my dear student, here we have to remove the decimal point. So what we can do? T square is equal to 980 into 10 upon 980 into 10 we can write, and the unit we can write meter, and in denominator the unit meter per second we can write. Now here my dear student, what we have done, we have tried to remove the decimal point, and now here the decimal point is removed. So here we can write T square is equal to 9800, 980 into 10 is 9800 upon 98, and meter upon meter per second square we can write. Now we can cut it, my dear. So 98 ones are 98 and 98 hundreds are 9800. So P square is equal to 100 meter divided by meter per second square we can write. Here there is one we don't have to write. So we can write T square is equal to 100 meter. This division sign will convert into multiplication, then we will take reciprocal x square upon m. So my dear student, meter will get cancelled. We get here T square is equal to 100 x square. T is equal to under root 100 x square we can take. So T is equal to 100's root is 10, x square will be s. So time taken is 10 seconds. So my dear student, we can write the body will take answer. The time taken by metal ball to reach the ground is 10 seconds. This is the answer. Let's try to solve the next problem. Let's study the next problem. An object thrown vertically upward reaches a height of 500 meter. My dear student, here it is said that if an object is thrown vertically upward, it attains 500 meter. What was its initial velocity? My dear student, here we are asked that when an object is thrown vertically upward, it attained certain height of 500 meter, and it is asked to us that what was its initial velocity with which it was thrown. Initial velocity means u. So we have to calculate u. How long will the object take to come back to the earth? And my dear student, again it is asked to us that what will be the time for the object to come back to the earth. So my dear student, here we are given some information, that is, an object is thrown vertically upward, it attains 500 meter and then it comes down. So we have to find out first, that is an initial velocity with which the object is thrown up, and second, the total time taken by object to go up and come down. So my dear student, now we will take the basic information and then try to solve the problem. Let's write down the basic information which is given to us. Height is given to us, and the height is 500 meter. Height means distance traveled by the body, and we can write S is equal to 500 meter. My dear student, here acceleration due to gravity is given to us, that is 10 meter per second square. My dear student, here initial velocity we have to find, and initial velocity is u, so we have to find the value of u. My dear student, in this information we are given displacement of the body, we have also given the acceleration due to gravity, and we have to find the initial velocity u. So my dear student, here we have to find out a kinematical equation in which there is relationship between the displacement of the body and velocity, and this kinematical equation is v square is equal to u square plus twice as. My dear student, in this kinematical equation we have relationship between velocity and displacement of the body. Here displacement of the body is given and acceleration is given. In acceleration we can say that the relationship of velocity is given. Here the body is thrown vertically upward. Here the body is thrown vertically upwards. Therefore, my dear student, v will be equal to 0 and a will be equal to minus g. If we consider this information, my dear student, now we will see that this equation can write in this way: v square is equal to u square plus twice, in place of a we can write minus g, and s will write as it is. So this equation become v square is equal to u square minus twice gs. Now my dear student, here we have to find the initial velocity. So we will put the value here. V square, v will be equal to 0, so we can put 0 is equal to u square minus twice gs. So my dear student, here what we will do, we will take u as it is, u square as it is, and minus twice gs will take to the other side of equation, it will be plus g s is equal to. So here my dear student, we got the equation u square is equal to twice gs. Now we will put the value. U square is equal to 2 into acceleration due to gravity is given to us, that is 10 meter per second square, into s is given to us, that is 500 meter. U square is equal to 2 into 10 into 500 into meter per second square into meter. U square is equal to 2 into 500 into 10, 5000, meter into meter, meter square upon second square. U square is equal to 5,000 into 2 is 10,000 meter square upon second square. So U is equal to under root 10,000 meter square upon second square. So we can write U is equal to 100 meter square upon second square will become meter per second. So my dear student, when we throw the body vertically upward, we got initial velocity. So we can write initial velocity U is equal to 100 meter per second. But my dear student, now again we have to also calculate the time required for the body to attain 500 meter. So again we are going to take information from one of the kinematical equation and try to find out t. And here velocity and time relationship we have to see. And now my dear student, we know one kinematical equation which tells us the relationship between velocity and time, that is v is equal to u plus at. Here my dear student, if we consider this kinematical equation, we get the relationship between velocity and time. From this kinematical equation, we can find out the time taken by the body when thrown vertically upward to attain 500 meter. Here the body is thrown vertically upwards. Therefore, V will be equal to 0, A will be equal to minus G, and my dear student, U we have found it, and that is what 100 meter per second square. My dear student, here some information we can understand. That is, when a body is thrown with the initial velocity of 100 meter per second square, then it attains a height of 500 meter. Now only we have to find the time taken by a body to attain the height of 500 meter. So this kinematical equation now will become V is equal to U plus, in place of A will write minus G and T will put as it is. So now my dear student, we can write V is equal to U minus G T. Now my dear student, here we know that V is 0 and is equal to U will keep as it is minus GT. My dear student, U will keep as it is and will put GT to the other side of equation, and this minus GT will become plus GT. My dear student, here we have to find T, and T is equal to U upon G we can write. So my dear student, T is equal to U we have found, that is 100 meter per second upon acceleration due to gravity is given to us, that is 10 meter per second square. So 10 ones are 10, 10 tens are 100. So T is equal to 10 meter per second divided by meter per second square. So my dear student, here we can write T is equal to 10 meter per second, and division we can multiply into multiplication, and we'll take the reciprocal, that is x square upon m. So my dear student, m will get cancelled, 1s and 1s get cancelled. So t is equal to 10 second. So my dear student, the time taken by a body when thrown vertically upward will be 10 second. Therefore, the time taken by a body of initial velocity, that is 100 meter per second, to reach 500 meter is 10 second when thrown vertically upwards. My dear student, now we have calculated initial velocity and the time taken by a body to attain the height of 500 meter when the body is thrown vertically upward. So here we have found out u is equal to 100 meter per second, and the time taken is what? 10 second. When the body is thrown, when the body is thrown vertically upwards. Now my dear student, will consider the body falling vertically downward. Now let's consider the body falling vertically downwards. And if a body is falling vertically downwards, my dear student, here now u will be equal to 0 and a will be equal to g. My dear student, again we will consider the same kinematical equation which we have considered while throwing the body vertically upward, and it is v square is equal to u square plus twice as. This is the kinematical equation, my dear student, which gives us the relationship between the velocity and the position of the body. Now my dear student, here we can consider u is equal to 0 and a is equal to g as the body is falling vertically downwards. So this equation will become v square is equal to u square plus twice gs. My dear student, now we will put the value. V square is equal to u, value is 0, so we can write here 0 plus twice gs. V square is equal to twice gs. My dear student, from this we can easily find the value of v square. So let's find v square is equal to 2 into here g is 10 meter per second square into s is 500 meter. So v square is equal to 2 into 10 into 500 into meter per second into meter. Now my dear student, this we can solve. V square is equal to 2 into 500 into 10 will become 5000 meter, and meter will multiply, will get meter square upon second square. V square is equal to 5000 into 2, we get 10,000 meter square per second square. So my dear student, V is equal to under root 10,000 meter square upon second square. So V is equal to 100 meter per second. But what is V? My dear student, V is what? Final velocity, and it is found that final velocity is 100 meter per second. Now we can put this information here, my dear student. V is equal to 100 meter per second. Now my dear student, we will find the time taken by the body to fall vertically downward, and therefore we will again take use of the same kinematical equation which we have already considered, that is V is equal to U plus AT. Here my dear student, as the body is falling vertically downwards, U will be equal to 0 and A will be equal to G. This equation will become V is equal to U plus GT. Now my dear student, we can write V is equal to 0 plus GT. Now my dear student, here we can write V is equal to GT. My dear student, we are going to find time. So we will write V as it is, G will take to the other side of equation, and we will write T as it is. Here we have got an equation T is equal to V upon G. My dear student, we have found the value of V. So we can write T is equal to V is what? 100 meter per second upon G is given to us, that is 10 meter per second square. 10 ones are 10, 10 tens are 100. So T is equal to 10 meter per second divided by meter per second square. We will write T as it is equal to 10 meter per second, multiplication will convert it, and then we can take a reciprocal, that is x square upon m. M will get cancelled, 1s and 1s will get cancelled. So T is equal to 10 second. So my dear student, here the time taken by a body to form vertically downward is 10 second. So we can write here the time taken by the body falling vertically downward is 10 seconds. Here, my dear student, the time is asked. How long will the object takes to come back to the earth? So, we can write total time taken by the object to come back to the earth will be first time taken by the object moving vertically upward to reach 500 meter plus time taken by the body to reach earth when falling vertically downwards. That is t is equal to 10 second plus 10 second. Therefore, t is equal to 20 second. This is the answer.